When I received my first line, I was lucky, lucky in the two meaning of the word, because the part was named Lucky, and I was so lucky to play that part. I met Sam for the very first time of my life by a bright and sunny afternoon in autumn in 52. He was in the auditorium, and I came, he gave me the text, I read it, and I was wondering what to do. I obtained no explanations, and the other actors were working the same. But we were smelling that we were in front of a very important chef-d'oeuvre.
I suppose the actors were the important thing, and Roger Blin had a very definite and sure sense of choosing them. And maybe his great idea was to take two actors of the, what we called at that time, a cabaret.
In that time, a doctor, friend of mine, Marthe Gauthier, showed me some people who was what we called Parkinsonians. And it's an awful illness, and you are trembling all the time at the end of that illness. And it saved my part, because suddenly when I had to talk, I was wearing one trunk in my left hand and a basket in my right hand. I was standing on my left leg, trembling from the foot to the shoulder, like that. And I have to try once again to play lucky if I can. Étant donné l'existence telle qu'elle jaillit des récents travaux publics de Poinçon et Wattman, d'un Dieu personnel, quoi, à barbe blanche, mais on a le temps, on reverra ça.
From Paris, Waiting for Godot would soon make its way across the world, establishing Samuel Beckett as the most original and influential dramatist of the century. The first English edition, translated by Beckett, was published in New York by Barney Rossett and Grove Press.
Like George Bernard Shaw, Sean Casey, and James Joyce before.
We really had a night out with Sam, and we all went and had dinner in the Coupole, and we went to UNESCO's play when UNESCO came too. But Sam never watched plays very much, so he went out for a walk and came back. And then UNESCO went home, and we all went on. I had my second daughter with us. And we went steadily around all the bars, and as each one shut, we went to another one. And we were getting very, very pissed, to be honest. So was Sam. But there was this wonderful conversation going on between Sam and George. Sam was debating whether it was possible to write a play with no action, with just words and some visual image, but no action at all. And we arrived at the Falstaff, and it was all shut up with iron railings and things. And to our amazement, Sam knocked on the door, and everything opened, and this pub was completely filled with people at 6 o'clock in the morning. And so we started another session there, and I think we lasted till about 7 or past, and then we went home, but we left him there because we just couldn't keep awake anymore.
When I used to walk into this theatre through the stage door to start rehearsing Not I would see Sam standing in the corner. I'd walk in from the stage door that way, Sam would be there, and we wouldn't say, good morning, Billy, good morning, Sam, how are you? None of that. We'd launch straight in without a word of, out into this world, a tiny little thing before its time, godforsaken hole, called. No matter, parents unknown, unheard of, he having vanished thin air, no sooner button up his breeches, she similarly 8 months later, almost at the tick, so no love spared that.
I think everybody had their own reactions to him, but the general feeling of wanting to create what he wanted, well, it's very rare, really, in the theatre that you get a whole theatre together feeling like that about someone.
There was a total commitment. For me, it was like working with not only a writer and a director, but like working with a painter and a sculptor and a musician and a conductor. In fact, practically every photograph you see of Sam and me is we're conducting each other. I would walk over hot coals for that man.
It was as rewarding in his personal life as he was in his professional one. But he was very witty, very charming, very knowledgeable.
We were rehearsing Happy Days, and Leonard Fenton was crawling up the mound towards Billy Whitelaw, who's buried up to the waist in the mound. And he wasn't, from Sam's point of view, wasn't doing it right, wasn't doing it how Sam wanted it done. And Sam was finding it, I think, very, very difficult to explain to Leonard exactly what he wanted at what specific time. It was so precise where he wanted him to go down, where he wanted him to come up, that I think it was frustration after about an hour of trying to do this. Everybody broke for lunch. Everybody disappeared, and I was left here. There was a few levels I wanted to play with on the actual lighting stage, so I went to the lighting box, looked out the window, and there's Sam crawling up the mound. And I happened to have my camera up there, so I stole a few of his private moments, I suppose. But it's quite amazing to watch him for half an hour crawling about on stage. And then he topped that off. When he got back, I think he'd actually worked it out for himself what he wanted, then rehearsed Leonard in about 10 minutes, and it was fine. And Sam crawled round the back of the man, popped the top hat on, and appeared over the top.
When we were rehearsing on this stage, the play ends with Winnie singing to a little box, a little musical box, the Merry Widow Waltz, and he said, Billy, I will just sing this to you so you know the tune. And I said, well, I know it. He said, no, I'll sing it to you. And this is what came out of his mouth. Well, had I not known it was the Merry Widow, I would have not known what he was singing. But I found it so moving and so marvelous that I took it without telling him. He didn't realize I'd stolen it from him. And at the end of the play, the lights go down, all the stuff, and Winnie just sings this, and this is what I did. Da, 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 da,